might as well. Like, if any of your classmates have chapter 4 questions or whatever. No. Ava, what question were you asking about?
Okay, I just kind of need help with it. Okay, so it's asking us, like, does this data appear to be proportional?
Which 41 or 42? 41. All right, so when we look at tables, we had a couple ways to determine proportionality. Now, one thing I don't love is how they built this table, because it's not in order, right? And that messes with our brain. So what was one way that we investigated tables to see are they proportional? The thing in our notes.
Wasn't it if you look at number 1, you could see, like, what it is?
Yeah, but I don't know exactly what you mean by that.
Like,
we said this one word twice, and it was kind of like our clue for checking if it's proportional.
Oh, it's the one thing where you, like isn't like division,
In a way.
I don't want to write this out.
Oh, Smarting, come on, work today. In a table, double.
Oh, yeah.
Toil and trouble, right? No, if we double one value, the other value should double. So if I can find out why my Smart Ink isn't working. So do we have something on this table that we can compare like that it doubles? Yeah, the 1 to the 2. Right, so if I go from 1 to 2, I look in the quantity y side, and I see, does that also, all right, I gotta figure out my Smart Ink, does that also double? So 1 to 2, that doubles. 3.15, if I double that, do I get 6.3? Yeah. So then, the other way we can test this is to create a rule. If I look at the comparison of y to x, when x is 1, tells me how they relate to each other. If I ask for a multiplier, right, the unit rate, the constant of proportionality, right now y is 3.15 when x is 1.
You can work on homework.
You can. And especially if you have homework questions. So the Desmos activities, that's all like optional, just if you want to have fun, whatever. Like, I just wanted to give you guys something fun to do. But if you want to work on homework, yeah, you can work on that. But I will take questions from anything we've already done. So we're back on 422 right now. So
I need help on the table.
I know. So we could make a rule that says y is 3.15x, because I know if I plug in an x of 1, y is 3.15. So now check the other ones. If I plug in 2, 3.15 times 2, and this might be where you want to grab a calculator. If I plug in 6, 3.15 times 6 should give me 18.9, and if it doesn't, then this is wrong. If I plug in 9, sorry, what was that?
I have to do 6.3 times 2 to see if it gives me 18.9. Wait, no.
So we are going to fill in the x's to test, does the y come out correctly? So do you have a calculator back there? I got you. I had a couple over here. These don't what? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if I could change the desks. We had really cool desks at Otterbein that I liked a lot. The backs reclined a little bit, so it was like you could stretch. So when we have a table and we have the x of 1, this tells us our unit rate, which is also the constant of proportionality, right? Which I'm going to keep reviewing those vocab words. That can build an equation, and we're going to talk a lot about this on Monday, where the equation relates how do I get my y when I have a certain x. According to this, y is 3.15 times x because x is 1, right? If that multiplication doesn't impact it, then test all of your other ones. Plug in 2, does it work? Plug in 6, does it work? Plug in 9, does it work? Plug in 5, does it? If they all work, our table's good. And that would be our explanation of why we could say there's a consistent relationship where y is 3.15 times the x value.
What?
Is your what on this problem?
It works.
Okay, then don't react like that. Okay, because it makes me feel like there's something here you don't understand.
It works.
Okay, for all of them? So your justification can be this table is proportional because every y value is 3.15 times the x value. So notice now we're stepping up into slightly harder work with decimals and fraction values, and like not everything relates by whole numbers. What other homework problems are giving us trouble, or you just want me to do for you because you're here on an extra day when your classmates aren't?
Could you do 4.2.4 for me?
Nope,
Okay.
because we have not done that lesson yet.
Can you do 4.5 for 2?
Is that from 423?
No, it's from 4.2.4.
Nope.
Oh.
I want past homework problems first.
Wow.
Nathan, you got any questions? I know you're working on past stuff.
Mr.
Want me to do anything for you?
You did something totally off the thing that I needed you to do.
Didn't you ask for 42?
Yeah, it's 4.1, not to be rude. But like, okay, so like we were
No,
doing
you're
it.
never rude. Wait, I thought you wanted 41.
Yeah, but it says I have to make a graph. That's what
Yeah.
I need help on. Do I just like
You said you
graph-
needed help on the table. You kept saying table.
Oh, well, I meant to say like graph.
Okay, I got you, but like you said the wrong word.
Oh.
All right, let me pull my graph over then. I gotta find some graphs, so hold on, just give me a minute. Oh, Eva. You are awesome. I say the wrong thing sometimes too. All right, I'm gonna show you the easy way to cheat. Yeah, like not cheat in a bad way, but like cheat the math and make it easy. So, in a proportional relationship table, and guys, if you are still working on like the set that involves 441, you might want to pay attention. Ava, here's how I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna make my line perfect. Y-axis, x-axis.
Should this be a 10 by 10?
It doesn't even matter. Well, it does. X needs to go up to 9 apparently.
And if it's the same as what's
But
on
here,
the chart, then
just-
it's proportional. If it's not, then it's not.
Just watch what I'm gonna do before you really do it on your own. And I should have slid down on my table. So I want to make my line that I'm gonna graph perfectly follow those intersections. See how I hit the intersections? Every single point, boom, 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 boom. Like I made it line up with all those nice ones. That's because I'm making this. I get to choose everything. So when I then go to label my scales, when I put x of 1, this y value over here should be what? What is y when x is 1?
Oh, 3.15.
So I just make my scale match my table. So then when x is 2, and you don't have to do it this way, it's just the easiest way to do it. When x is 2, where x is 2, I go over to my y. What should my y be?
6.3.
When x is 3,
Oh, so we have to do that.
and we don't know it yet, so that's where we use our equation, y equals 3.15 times x. If I plug in 3, I'm going to get 945. Yeah. So then I label this spot 945. Sorry, my smartboard's off. You guys know that tick mark should line up with that line. And then we just keep labeling based off that relationship.
That's easy.
All the way out to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. My x of 9, they tell me, was 28.35. So I go up, then I go over, and way up here would be 28.35. And you'd want to label the marks in between there then. Make the math work for you. Don't bend over backwards to I'm going to scale my boxes 1 by 1, and then I'm going to have to count and be really difficult, and don't try harder than you need to. I'm going to orient my board really quick, but I would love to do more math problems, because honestly,
Take a picture of the one that you just did.
I will as soon as I get back to it. Actually, it doesn't even matter, because I'm on my Smart program. So, Jalen, I can't send it anywhere else. I can't put it up on the TV, because I'm drawing in Smart. So, I'll just leave it up here for a second. I'm going to move some of these to... don't do that.
Don't do what?
When I actually move the graph paper behind it as opposed to a point.
Whoops.
I hate that this graph is out of order. Like that just, oh my god.
The table's out of order. They do that on purpose to make your brain work harder.
Because
That's
I just have
annoying.
to read
It's
to
beneficial
6,
for you.
and
I
it's
get it. It is annoying, but it's annoying because it's making your brain work. That's why you describe it as annoying.
Oh wait, that's easy. Sorry, no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this problem.
Do you realize how gut reactive you are? You react so quickly to things, and like you just had to like fight yourself. You're like, oh wait, no, that's easy. Like you had this moment of despair, like half a moment of despair, and then you talked yourself out of it.
So what is
It's
this
just
going
really
to-
interesting. You're very interesting.
But this
Mr.
one is
Hudson,
like
what does this
mean,
go
but
up
it's
by?
not mean. So
My X's go up by 1s. My Y's, we made the scale 3.15 to make our life easy. You can make the scale anything you want.
I thought you were talking about ex-girlfriends. I was like, what?
No, X's go up by 1, Y's go up by 3.15. All right, other questions.
Yeah, I was like, you're talking about.
From 421, 422, or 423.
That's so annoying.
So 421 here, we had the lemonade problem here. Carmen's downloading music.
Carmen, how dare she?
Wow, that's an expensive song.
Carmen's gonna be.
What?
I know,
$1.75. That's like a pop hit.
No, that's what normal pop hits are. Like Cardi
Yeah,
B
I know back in my day though, when you started to be able to like download music, everything was like 99 cents.
Oh my god.
These diamond problems, anyone want help with these diamond problems? Some of us are still struggling as I grade your chapter 3 tests. You want me to do those? Just for extra practice?
Yeah, you should probably do those.
Which, this one? 31. 31 uses a little bit of multiplication down here, but the first 3 are our addition strategies. Even though C is subtraction, we're going to call it addition. Because remember, subtraction's made up. There's that one still up on the TV. So in A and B, we just have good guy, bad guy battles, right? So bad guy of 3 walks into a cafe or whatever you want to say, and there's a good guy of 7, and immediately they fight. Who wins? Good guy. By how much? How much stronger is 7 compared to 3? 4. So good guy wins by 4. That's how we figure out that. B, good guy, bad guy. Good guy of 7 walks into the cafe, and there's a bad guy of 8 sitting there. They fight. Who wins? Bad guy by how much? By 1. So we get negative 1. C, we need to rewrite it. Because remember, we hate subtraction. Well, hate's a strong word. We don't like subtraction.
I hate I hate division. I don't like division.
Yeah, division's.
Bad guy 6, bad guy 9. Do they fight?
No, they
They get along. So they get along and they become bad guy of
They're besties.
what's 6 and 9 together?
3.
15, right? So bad guy 15
They plan to make a doomsday device. Oh wait,
with a bunch of negative integers.
Yeah, I ever helped.
But this is
I'm gonna finish this one.
they're not that.
I know, but I need to do DEF first real quick. Okay, what do you want help on? I will get there.
So
But
when you do area and perimeter and you have like this little like triangle and you have like how you could do you obviously do the area by multiplying 2. So never mind. I don't need your help anymore. I'm good. I don't expect you.
I like how sometimes when we just talk things out, like literally say them out loud, our brain can process it differently. So now in D, E, and F, we have to follow the order of operations. I tried to merge the words follow and order, and I don't know what was about to happen. So first thing we have to do is multiply, right? Because parentheses, that doesn't count here. That parentheses is just for negative. Exponents, there aren't any. Multiply. You what? So, make it easier. You have 4 bad guys of negative 2. Right? 4. Hey, can you keep your judgment to yourself occasionally? 4 bad guys of negative 2. How much bad do they have all together? So, we know it's going to end up bad. What is 4 times 2? So, we get bad guy 8. Now we have bad guy 3 and bad guy 8. They get along or do they fight? They get along, and what do they make? Bad guy 11. I think you need a bit more than 11 to be a doomsday device.
No.
I don't know.
Unless you get one.
Did anyone else
Depends
notice
on
the
the
sub
villain.
yesterday from Mrs. Goldring was wearing a Deadpool watch?
Wait, really? I found this
He
one
had
on
a
Deadpool.
tie, a vest.
Yeah,
He was rocking his whole
And
outfit,
his mohawk.
and he had a Deadpool watch.
He is
on.
very
I
different.
found this
I
really
would
cool
say that.
I found this really cool
I saw
pocket
it,
watch
like,
with
is that
Darth Vader
red
on it,
or-
and I asked for it.
Yeah, that was from a Marvel movie. All right, now again, so here we have two different things going on. We have subtraction, we have multiplication. We don't like subtraction. Change it, make it addition, but that negative can't disappear, so I make it addition -2, -5. Now, this is weird to think about. We can't really use the good guy, bad guy situations. What's a negative times a negative? A positive, right? Because it cancels out the bad. So my 4, nothing happens with it, but then 2 times 5 makes 10, and it became positive. Now we have good guy, and we just get
Wait, I
14.
get an idea to represent that, like how
The multiplication.
No, but like the villains are arguing, and they want. So one guy gets the idea that he wants to become good, so he can beat up the bad guy, but the other guy gets the same idea.
And then they just end up merging as one like big good guy because they both did it at the same time.
Yeah.
We might need to work on the story a little bit, but I like that.
Oh, that's
This is tough. This last one.
Yeah, it's
To start, we have 2 different parenthesis sets that we can do stuff inside of. So then I have to work left to right dealing with those parentheses. What's -7 plus 3? So bad guy 7, good guy 3. Who wins? These are fighting, right? Bad guy 7, good guy 3. Who's stronger? Bad guy by how much?
Yeah, I need help on 42.
Then this multiplication inside this parenthesis has to happen first, because inside the parentheses we still have to follow order of operations. What's 5 times 2?
12, I mean 10.
Yeah, be careful, 10. Then we don't like subtraction. Are you copying this down? Because you're going to want this on your paper. I'm going to change my subtraction to plus a negative because we just don't like subtraction. So go ahead and catch up with me. I'm going to get a drink coffee. Coffee, just catch up with me.
I like division.
Except my coffee's over.
Your breath always smells like coffee.
Well,
Does like
No, like when he's talking to me like this, I was like,
yeah,
it smells like
it's. I know what you mean because my band teacher, like, as soon as he got into your 3-foot radius, you could just smell coffee. I think he sweated coffee. He would drink like over a pot of coffee in like a morning. I drank my Yeti over the whole day. So, and it's not technically a Yeti. That's like saying get me a Kleenex. So then, Nathan, we still have something inside parentheses I need to do. This can still be done. So good guy 4 plus bad guy 10, who wins? Bad guy, right? Bad guy 10 is stronger than 4 by how much? 6, right? Because the difference between 4 and 10 is 6, and it comes out to be negative. Then I have negative times negative. What's a negative times a negative? And then what's 4 times 6? So that's where our answer ends.
Oh, Kool-Aid.
I know Mr. Smith's helping Ava back there. Who else has questions that I can go over? We got about 10 minutes
This
left.
stuff could be in the old homework.
Unless we run out of old homework questions. 421, 422, 423. Anything from there?
Do you have to do? Is one of our homework going to be? Since that says till 4/6, 40.
What? What do you?
I mean 4/6/64.
Are you asking specifically about the 424 homework?
Yeah.
And what it's really going to be? So like I said, this is meant to be a 2-day lesson, right? So your homework for the first day was going to be 60 to 64.
And then it's gonna be.
And then it would be 65 to 69.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going to split that. So and this is actually going to be okay to split because we're going to have one part of the lesson before Thanksgiving break. We'll have 3 days off school, really like 4, well, really like 6 if you count Tuesday, we're bowling, we don't have math. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Right, then we'll come back that Monday, we will do the rest of 424. So we'll do part 1 on one Monday, part 2 on the next Monday.
Your calculator's not working. Oh.
I'm sorry, it's really a library calculator, so you can get one of the yellow ones if you want. Or here,
found 2
I got you.
calculators in the trash.
Did you get them out?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I give
Yeah, I
them
think
to
somebody
Aaron.
thinks they're funny, but all that's doing is wasting school money, and then we have less money to do cool stuff. If we have to spend school money to replace calculators, we can't spend school money to like buy more computers for you guys, or like somebody who thought they were funny, I guess. But the sense of humor of your generation is slightly skewed, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very strange.
What other questions? What do you want? What do you want?
422 44.
422. Going dancing. 44. A lot of people have come to ask me about this, and you're making it too hard. You do not even need to copy this down. Now you could totally copy this down, and that would work well. But all you really have to do is say what property gets you from one step to the next step. One step to the next step. Then find the value of the expression. We do have to solve it, but we could solve it from the final step right here. So I don't need to copy the whole thing down. So from
Copy the final one.
and then finish it, right? Then simplify. So like from here to here, what happens is this multiplies and this multiplies. What do we call that in math? Starts with a D.
Distributive property.
Because like read the directions, guys. This is identify the property that lets us do what we're doing. Then they seem to move some things around.
That's commutative.
And moving things around is commutative. Because to commute means to move. Then we would copy down what they have. And solve it from there. So 7 times 2, 14. 7 times 2, 14. 4 minus 2 times 3, 6. And I gotta put all that together. The 14s are gonna cancel each other out because it's 14 minus 14. And then we should there, after we do all the math, end up with negative 2.
How do you do that so fast?
Practice.
Proportional?
Guys, I used to ask my math teacher the same question. Seriously, I would sit in my high school math class, and he would do double-digit multiplication. It would blow my mind. And now I can do it like it's nothing. I couldn't do it when I was your age. It's practice. It just comes down to an awful lot of practice.
Okay, can
The-
you work us through the other ones?
Wait,
The more you engage with the math, the better you get and the easier it seems. If you want your life to be easy, you gotta put in the work.
well, one thing I was always wondering is like that you're saying that you went to like you went to high school and stuff and all this, but like, do you need to know that information because your job is teaching
What do you mean, do
Middle
I need to
school
know that? What information do you mean?
the high school information?
Oh, the high school math? I'm certified to teach high school math.
No, but like you're teaching middle school math.
Well, I also teach high school math to 8th graders,
But
like
what,
3rd period.
but like, what kind of, how much, what's the lowest amount of school that you would have to go through
To teach
middle
math?
school?
If you went into college to become a middle school math teacher, first off, you'd have to have a second licensure of so a lot of middle school math teachers do science also. And then most of your classes would be in education, not in math. Whereas I took a math track. I was not on an education track. I got an education licensure, but my degree's in mathematics. So I took pretty much every math class if you only do middle school and your licensure only goes up to 9th grade, you have to take like a couple college algebra classes, a college geometry course, and probably a level of calculus maybe. But calculus is really where you get up into like the difficult math. You like integrate functions and derive different things. And do a lot of
Why
stuff.
do you need to know all that for, like,
Engineering.
when you're teaching middle school?
How'd this building get built?
Oh, you built it?
No. Somebody who knew math did. How'd the overpass that lets you get to school get built?
No, but I'm asking.
Somebody who understands the math.
He's asking if since you know all the high school math stuff and you're a middle school teacher, then why do you need to build a high school math if you're a middle school teacher?
Because I might end up teaching high school.
Why do you need to go to college if you're going to be teaching middle school stuff?
Oh, because dude, all because you know how to do the math doesn't mean you know how to teach it. That's like, even though you master a test doesn't mean I could pull you in next year and have you teach the class.
So you're allowing us middle schoolers to teach?
If you really know how to do it. But that's with me on the side to pick up the pieces like that don't get picked up. Alright, right here, sorry, we should do B. In B, first thing that happens is 6 times 3 gets multiplied, and 3 times 4 gets multiplied. So from here to here, you could either say multiplication, or you could say simplification.
Oh my gosh, I'm almost on the end of Cold War 2.4, and there are 9 problems, like 10 problems.
Then order changes. Right, we move numbers. That's commutative. To move numbers means to commute. Yeah. Can't spell today. Or any day, really.
Have we done problems like this before on homework?
I get mixed up because I teach so many different classes. But yeah, we've been doing commutative and associative for a while.
Like I
Like all
feel
of
like I've
chapter
done
4.
like these exact problems before, but like not with these numbers. So like not these
Oh,
exact
probably, yeah.
problems. Okay.
Keep
Because
at
I was
it.
getting
Give
like
me
a weird
free
feeling
time
that
to
I've
get
already
stuff
done this. And
In C,
I know this one. It's distributive and then exponents.
I don't see 5 times 1 and 5 times negative 3. If it was distributive, which we could, but we would have 5 times 1 and 5 times negative 3. We don't actually have that.
Why does it go?
This
Oh, never mind.
moves over here, right? The 4 times 5 bumps over, and the plus 1 bumps over. Oh, so wait, my parentheses moved from here
Yeah.
to here. A lot of things move. So things moved. What do we call the moving? Commutative, and we simplified, right? We solved inside the parentheses. So this would be commutative and simplified.
We gotta go.
No, we don't. I got you. It's a Friday.
Wait.
Do you trust me, Brendan?
Oh, it's 9:50 million. Wait.
Actually, this is commutative and, sorry, not slash, and simplify at the same time. Which there are certain math things we can do at the same time.
I wish there was a way that you could just talk to your paper and it would just
What?
The heck?
Don't put it past that to exist within your lifetime.
One-fourth
But it would be a tablet, probably.
1/4 of my paycheck will go to pay taxes when my first job.
Probably pretty close.
Wait, would it D be simplified?
I'll show you my pay stub at some point. I definitely won't put it on like the video, but if you want to see a pay stub, I'll show you where like. So dude, here's what's sad about like problems involving paychecks. I'll stop the recording and just give you some real world math. We only got like 2 or 3 minutes left, so you want to start putting Chromebooks away soon. But if I go